The Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association presents Trackside Live. Trackside Live is presented by Wire to Wire Wealth. Now, let's go trackside to the Delaware County Fairgrounds and your host, Frank Froz.
Good morning, everyone. It's Monday, we think. You know, you get into this Delaware week, you're not sure what day it is, but no, it's Monday here from the Delaware County Fairgrounds. I'm Frank Froz. Welcome to Trackside Live, brought to you by Wire to Wire Wealth. Glad to have you along for day 2 of our 5 days in Delaware. Today, our guest on Trackside Live is the husband and wife team of Jess, and I'm going to use her first instead of you, and Cam McCown. So thanks for taking the time this morning and joining us. I know it's a busy time, especially, you know, any morning it is for you guys, but today, this week, it's even more busy, or busier, isn't it?
It gets a little busy. There's just always seems to be something to do or something going on, but no, happy to be here.
Well, great, Cam. Glad to have you take time. I know you're usually out jogging horses at this time, so, you know, the rumor was Cam was going to try to disappear, but that's why we went to Jess to arrange this today. You two are off to probably your best years ever as a trainer and a driver. You're closing in on yours. This is by far your best year.
Absolutely.
And you're closing in on it, and with another 3 months, you should top, you know, what you've done in the past as long as you keep going the way I look at it. What's been the difference this year for the two of you?
I think just training-wise, we just have a great team. We just have grooms, our second trainers. This year we've done little things different. The horses, early in the year we had everyone get their own horses. For a while it was just me and a couple other grooms just swinging on like 17, but early in the year we had everyone take their own horses, so everyone has, you know, around 6-5 that they do themselves. And I think just having individuals looking at every horse every single day, getting individual care, I think that's really been a key difference, and just better horses.
Okay, now that's going to lead me into my next question.
You're welcome.
Thank you. You come from a harness racing family, okay? Tell everybody the harness racing family tree you come from, because you got branches all over, and people are going, well, who's related to who by how and all that. So give us the family tree.
I don't know if I could do that. There's a lot. My mom and dad, obviously, Brian and Jenny. My mom's side, Tony and Melanie Williams. My great-grandpa was Ken Harvey from the Logan County area. My dad's side, Robert H. Annie Brown. They're from Upper Mary and Upper Sandusky, around there. And then I've had, you know, numerous uncles, aunts, cousins.
All right, so we go Brian and Jenny and you. Nobody else?
Oh, yeah, my brother. He's there, too.
Okay, that's it? Any aunts and uncles?
Of course, Amy Holler,
Thank
Calvin.
you. I was going to say, if you don't mention that one, you're in trouble. How important is it to both of you to have that type of help? Because what you just said about having the grooms with, you know, a set of horses, that's what that's what your dad does.
Yeah, that's the way that. And at the beginning, when I was younger, he didn't do it that way. He kind of did the same thing that we did, just kind of everybody work together and get everything done. But then eventually, when he moved down here, he did the, you know, every groom has their own horses, and I think that's when he really became successful, is the same way. So I think that's really been a big key.
Okay, now we know how you got into it. Cam, you got a totally different story on how you got into this business. Tell everybody how that happened.
Well, I met this.
Easy.
Come on.
I met Jess, and that's how I got into it.
He had a little bit of experience with it before.
Yeah.
Well, he had experience with horses.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, tell everybody what you did prior to diving into the harness world.
Well, we did a little rodeoing, but as a
All right, rodeoing. I mean, what? Okay, did you ride bulls? Did you ride broncs? Did you rope?
well, I did bulls.
Okay.
You know, for about, I think it was about 4 or 5 years. Yeah, but that's
Why get out of that and go into the harness side?
well, actually, the last year I done it is when my daughter, you know, was. So I kind of wanted to, you know, it's a very physical sport, you know, and I've seen a lot of things happen in that, you know, and I just didn't. I had to go into the workforce to, you know, support, you know, my little one, so I just got out of it.
On a bull riding note, and I've always wanted to ask this: sports evolve and change. You watch it now, and they're wearing helmets, they're wearing masks, they're wearing vests. The safety aspect of it has changed so much from the years past.
Well, I wore helmet. We always had to wear vest. But you had your choice. But I chose to wear a helmet too back then too.
I mean, you just never knew. I mean, a 3,000-pound animal like that is just.
I've seen a lot of people get their face crushed, so I didn't want to take the chance. A little extra protection.
All right. So, what do you like about the harness racing side? What's your favorite part about it?
It's a competitive sport, but I like a little bit of both. I like the claiming game, and I like the babies. It's just coming in every day and seeing the horses and getting them prepared for the races. It's very challenging.
How many do you have in the barn now?
I think right now we're down a little bit. It's anywhere between 20 and 22, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to take a step back. We mentioned Amy. Don't you have some children that you failed to mention who are probably watching
They're
right
probably
now,
mad at me right now.
looking, going, thanks, Bob.
Our daughter Maddie's 16 and Chase is 9.
Yeah, Chase kind of is the mayor of Delaware.
He's
get the impression.
Infamous. He's everywhere.
He's not a happy camper this week. You know that.
No.
He can't drive his golf cart.
No, he can't drive his golf cart, and Maven Smith has an electric bike that I've heard nothing about for 48 hours. So if you see him on one, that's why.
Well, what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to get you on the Tim Van Horn program. Tim down in the Southern Valley told his 3 grandsons that if he won 9 races or 10 races last year, he'd get him a 4-wheeler, and he did. So he had to buy him a 4-wheeler. So now what you got to do is set some goals and say, "Hey, Chase, if we win X amount of races, here's what you're going to get." Or I got a better idea: send him to Grandpa for that.
That's probably what'll happen.
And have him do that. So. Is this a good size for you with the number you have in the barn?
For the people we have, yes. Right around here, we can. It's enough to keep everyone employed, and it's enough that little enough that we can pay attention to everyone and make sure we're keeping our eyes on everybody.
Now, I come up here every now and then during the week. You guys are training and everything. I drive back there where your barn is. Brian and Jenny's barn is. Things look very clean up there this week. How much time did you guys have to put into really sprucing things up for this week?
Their barn, probably not much. Our barn, a lot. We race almost every night. We're in there every day. My people work 7 days a week. We do our best to kind of keep everything together. But, when everyone shows up, you want it to look nice, look decent. So
this is a hard industry. How do you get the right people?
It's just hit or miss, and I think anyone in this business will tell you that. The horses are one thing. Having the right people, the people are the hard part. If you can find people to just, like I said, it's 7 days a week, all year long. You don't get many days off. You don't get many nights off. You work in every condition possible. Just getting people to show up and is one thing. Getting them to care and work and put in, what you ask of them is another.
Now, how do you guys get your horses in the barn? Do you, the sale, claiming, what is the process?
The majority is claiming. We have more claimers than anything. I think we had like 5 2-year-olds this year. I don't think we had any 3.
4 of them made it. We started out with 4, then we ended up picking up another one, and we had a lot of success this year with our 2-year-olds. Which
direction is the future for the McCown barn?
I mean, you hope it's 2 and 3-year-old stake horses, but now here in Ohio, the money's so good, really anywhere you go that you can really just make a living, just claimers, condition claimers. I like to say 2 and 3-year-olds, but right now it's just whatever works, and so far what works has been the claimers mainly.
What do you look for when you're claiming a horse?
Well, you kind of look for consistent, consistency. What do you call it? You don't want to get something that's racing bad. You kind of want to claim something that's been doing good, especially for the people you're claiming for, because you want to put them back in and, hopefully be able to continue to do what the horse is doing.
Do you look for horses you can improve on?
In a claiming game, you don't want to do that. You just want to get a horse that you can maintain. You go looking for something to try to improve something, it usually backfires on you. So you kind of want to get something that you can maintain and be able to do. You don't want that going into it saying, oh, I can improve off that guy, because a lot of times, some guys are pretty sharper than what you think, so.
All right. Well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk more about the year that Jess and Cam are having here on Trackside Live when we return to the Delaware County Fairgrounds.
With over 30 years of experience in wealth planning and a lifetime of involvement in harness racing, Matt Franklin at Wire to Wire Wealth can help you build a financial plan that addresses the unique circumstances of those involved in the horse racing industry. Whether you are investing to build wealth, protect your family, or preserve your assets, Matt at Wire to Wire Wealth will work with you through the wealth planning process from start to finish.
With more than 300,000 horses in Ohio, the economic impact of the equine industry in the state is over $2.8 billion. Much of that value comes from standardbred horse owners, breeders, trainers, and drivers who participate in the sport of harness racing. The mission of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association is to preserve, protect, promote, and serve the entire standardbred industry in Ohio and beyond. To learn more about the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association, go to ohha.com. That's ohha.com.
Welcome back to the Delaware County Fairgrounds and Trackside Live. I'm Frank Froz, joined this morning by Jessica and Cam McCown. Glad to have them along here on Trackside Live, presented by Wire to Wire Wealth. Trotters or Pacers?
Well, I like the Trotters, but we really don't have many owners that gives us chance. We did have a guy buy us a pretty nice yearling this year. It's a trotter, but I like my Trotters.
Jess?
Pacers are, I don't want to say they're easier, but they kind of, you feel a little more confident in yourself sometimes with them. But just sitting behind a Pacer and sitting behind just a really nice Trotter is just, there's nothing compares.
Pacers running the family.
Yes. I think, well, I shouldn't say for my mom's side, but my dad, I know growing up, it was all Trotters. Even kind of into his early years, and then eventually kind of went to Pacers.
Oh, okay.
So he grew up kind of the trotting side more than anything.
There's a little tidbit there with that. Now, you mentioned it's getting behind. Are you behind them every day?
I'm not. There's so much to do. It just like the barn, just getting people where they need to go. Managing everybody, make sure ordering things. I did groom 4 or 5 throughout the year. But just actually getting on the track, it doesn't happen very often.
Now, you talk to some trainers who like to get behind the horses and see what's happening themselves. So because you're not getting behind them, you've got to trust what you're getting the input. So
absolutely.
Are you the boss then of this operation?
No, not at all. I think we like to make, most of our decisions together. I put my whole faith into him. He sits behind majority of them every day. And again, our second trainers, they give us great feedback, but he's got the experience. He sits behind them. He knows them. I'm more of the support system, I guess.
What do you look for when you're behind a horse? Training, jogging, is there something you look for, or is it just being out there and when something happens, it happens?
What do you mean by jogging?
Yeah,
every
just
day?
like if you're jogging, are you looking for the gait? Are you looking okay, with this piece of equipment might help me a little bit more, or help the horse a little bit?
Jogging wise, you just as long as they're jogging sound, being around them every day, you can kind of tell when something's off just a little bit, but as in training and stuff, I like to wear something. I don't want to change something at the track that I didn't train in.
Mm-hmm.
But just every day, just being around them every day. Just if something's off, I can just have the vets go over them, and I usually tell them like it's something right front, and I'm usually right about it.
So now we go to the racetrack. He's going to hop in the bike. Any advice, or once he's in the bike, it's his show?
I try to. I've never told him I've never said, make sure you do this, make sure that, but I will remind him, hey, remember last week this horse did this, or hey, this horse hasn't raced in 2 weeks, don't, I know he's going to feel good behind the gate and want to leave, but, make sure maybe we take it easy this week. I try to remind him, because I know he's got so much going on and driving for different people that, sometimes he maybe doesn't remember or forgets, but I try to say, hey, don't forget this, or...
All right.
Ask her after the race.
Well, that was my next question. What about after the race?
We're supposed to have a rule where you give it about 10 minutes after the race and then you talk about it. It doesn't happen very often, but it's milliseconds to make decisions. It's so quick, and you're human. You're trying your best. It's difficult, and you got 8, 9 other guys out there doing the same thing. So driving it's probably the most difficult thing you could probably do in the sport, is trying to, you're, like I said, you're beating 8, 9 other guys and trying to make decisions in a split second, and sometimes it's right and sometimes it's wrong. Now,
when he's driving your horses, is it one way, and then when he's driving somebody else's and you see him, for another training, you go, hey, what were you doing there? Are you a little rougher?
I think I'm a little rougher with other people's horses. And then, sometimes with ours, it's like, this is your horse. You know him, you should know everything about him and remember him, and I think I'm a little more worried when he drives other people's horses, because with ours it just seems like we'll just move on to the next week and whatever, but then you feel bad for someone else if something happens. So
in one ear and out the other sometimes.
No comment.
All right, you guys have had a really good year, and you won the OSS Veterans Championship. That just had to have been a thrill. Is that the biggest race you guys have won in your career?
Yep. The second best one, I think, is a $4,000 signature series at Epperson Dusky that has my grandpa's name on it. That was pretty cool too.
Yeah, that's special.
That's special, but this was just unbelievable.
What was going through your mind as my pal Sparky was going around the track?
I wasn't really, I don't know that I was ever worried. It was just cool to be there. I was just hoping for a check. I wasn't really, expecting anything. It just, everything worked out. It just worked out perfect. He has no gate speed, so drawing the rail was great. Just following along, he's big. He doesn't have quick speed to him. So anytime he can be out and moving is his trip. And you're always kind of worried you have to be 3 or 4 wide. And I think Danny pulled out of the 2-hole down the, and I thought, oh man, now we're gonna be pushed out anymore. And around the turn, I was getting a little louder as it was coming, and I thought, man, it's just, I was hoping to be second. I thought I really would be second, but he just kept coming. That's his trip. That's his perfect trip.
Cam, you were in the bike. What was going through your mind as this race was setting up for you?
Going around the last turn, I'm like, holy crap, I got Trot.
Did you know you had enough horse under you at that point to get there?
Well, I didn't know I was going to get a good check. I didn't know I was going to get there, because he's in pretty nice horses in there. And coming around the last turn when he had Trot, I'm like, holy crap. Then when I finished, I just couldn't believe it. When I crossed the finish line, I was kind of looking over at the horse beside me to see if that's what I normally do, is look at the bike, see if I'm ahead of him. And down the backside, I was like, holy crap, I just won this race.
Now, big check,
Yep.
But what's more important, that check or that piece of hardware?
We got the trophy the week later, and there were some tears opening the box. It's pretty cool. Just that's a huge accomplishment to know that. And we picked him out. We've had him his whole life. Picked him out as a yearling, bought him as a yearling, trained him down. To do that with that type of horse is just, that's crazy.
Does that give you the confidence moving forward that you can win these big races? You can do more.
For a small stable like us, to win something like that is just, it really, you just think, okay, maybe we can do this, more than some 6 claimers or, fair races or whatever. I mean, it just makes you feel like you're doing your job.
All right, we're going to take another break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about this week and what it means to these two when we return to Trackside Live here at the Delaware County Fairgrounds.
With over 30 years of experience in wealth planning and a lifetime of involvement in harness racing, Matt Franklin at Wire to Wire Wealth can help you build a financial plan that addresses the unique circumstances of those involved in the horse racing industry. Whether you are investing to build wealth, protect your family, or preserve your assets, Matt at Wire to Wire Wealth will work with you through the wealth planning process from start to finish.
The future is bright in Ohio. Ohio Sire Stakes, Buckeye Stallion Series, 66 county and independent fairs. Whether it's the Ohio Sire Stakes, the Buckeye Stallion Series, or the county fairs, Ohio has a place for your racehorse. This year, Ohio breds are racing for nearly $23 million in stakes purses. Be part of the winning. Breed, buy, race, win in Ohio.
Welcome back to Trackside Live. I'm Frank Froz, joined this morning by Jessica and Cam McCown. Glad to have you two with us today. Trackside Live brought to you by Wire to Wire Wealth. You've been around this fair your entire life. This week, what's it mean to you?
It's just besides the racing, just to see everyone come together. I mean, you have people from everywhere that get to come here, and this is, a county fair on steroids. It's just such an experience for people to see, just be around, just the people. You're so close to the fans and the horses. You can come right up to them and see them. It's just an experience that I think everyone in the business should be a part of.
I've been asking this because it was asked to me. Person coming to the Delaware County Fair for the first time to watch the jug, what advice would you give them?
Bring a lot of water and some other things with you in your cooler. Just walk around, and we're all standing around. This is probably the only place that you could walk up to a Ronnie Burke or, any big driver, Dave Miller, anybody, and just say, hey, how are you doing? And talk a little bit, come see horses. You can walk in the jug barn and get to see just probably some of the best horses in the sport. I mean, it's so personable and so just accessible to everyone.
Cam, what advice would you give somebody?
Just like she said, you're right there. Talk to them, and you can see the horses on the backside. Just a variety of people that you can speak to.
What's it mean to win a race here at Delaware?
It's just always a goal. It's very hard to win here. It's, the track being a half mile, and again, you're the best horses, the best drivers, best trainers. It's just very gratifying to be here, 7 days a week, 365, and to know you can win here at your home track it's just a cool experience.
What's in the future for the two of you as you look out? How big of a stable do you want to have? How big do you want to grow what you've got?
I just like to, keep the people I have, employed. Probably not over 30. 30's a good number for us.
Jess?
Just, I don't want to say stay the same, because you never want to do that, but I think the people that we have, the horses that we have, our owners are great. We have fantastic owners that are just always there, ups and downs, understanding. Just keep them happy, keep them, interested in the game, keep our people employed. And
do you have any number goals out there? Like for you this year, you have 2,300 starts, 219 wins, $3 million in earnings. Cam in his career, coming up on 10,000 starts, you're at 9,925. You just crossed the 1,000 win mark, $9.5 million in earnings. Do you have goals like that you set, or does it just come?
It's hard to pay attention to, because I think if you fall short, then you get down on yourself, or things like that. But just to, and horses race good without winning. Horses race good without earning a bunch of money. I mean, just to know that your horses are healthy, they're racing good. Like this, every meet is kind of like, hey, let's get 10 wins, and it was 20 wins. I think we ended up with 28, which was just great. You get kind of caught in a numbers game if you pay attention too much. So anything we get from here on out is it's great, icing on the cake.
As you look forward, what would it mean to win a little brown jug, an old oaken bucket, a jugette, a bucket? What would it mean not only to you, but the whole family.
I think that's what's most important. That's what gets me a lot is just winning and knowing they're involved or knowing they're there for it, cheering us on. Just to celebrate, what you've accomplished. Winning something like that for us would just be just unbelievable.
It's a little crazy back there, doesn't it?
It does.
Tell everybody about, you come here and in that upper turn, it's Brownsville. That's the way to put it. It's Brownville up there. Tell everybody what goes into, what mom and dad do up there to get everything ready.
The things that I don't think anybody really knows how much work is in behind all of that. Just supporting the fair, yesterday they were running around finding stalls for people. There's so much that goes on back there. They just want everyone to be accommodated, and they want the fair to be, flourish and just be successful. Just there's so many little things that go into sponsorships, things like that. They work probably as hard at that as they do just on a normal day, just with the horses.
Saturday when I was here, I was up there, and your mom was putting together a umbrella stand or something. I don't know. She was doing this. It just kind of gave me one of those looks of, it's always something around here. So.
Absolutely.
But you go up there and there's always a group of people there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's just that it's great to have that support. Black cat running across the track. I'm not sure if that's good luck or bad. That's yours? Is that good luck or bad luck?
I don't know. Depends which way it goes, I guess.
Oh, but you go down to the barn for advice?
Oh, go down there. I live with him. I go upstairs. I try not to bug him. He's got so much going on himself that I try not to come bother him with my problems. But he's always there. He's always ready to talk. Tell you what. He won't tell you what to do. He'll tell you, hey, maybe you do this, or if I was you, maybe try this. But
no, that's a dad telling you what to do. You know that, don't you?
You're right. Mom, she's always there with. I'm terrible at book work. I'm not great at those things. I'd rather be, cleaning the stall or whatever. But I go to her and ask about, things like that, the book work, the shipping, I go borrow trucks and trailers off them all the time, equipment. If without them, we would be flat on our face. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, glad to have you two here today. One final question. Cam, what's on your harness racing bucket list?
I wouldn't mind winning a stake final or something, 2 or 3 year old, we won the aged, but I don't know. I'd like to win a big race, at the end of this year.
All right. How about you, Jess?
It's funny, but we won a Sire Stakes final before we ever won a Sire Stakes leg. So, that would be that would be cool to do that. Just, with the 2-year-olds, I'm not saying claimers are easier, but it's very competitive. It's very hard to just win a race at all. But with the babies, the 3-year-olds, just a final, a Stallion Series final, or we won a Stallion Series Constellation, I think, a couple years ago. A Stallion Series final, eventually a Sire Stakes leg, and then a final. Just here in Ohio, you have so much opportunity to be successful and win races. There's really just anything.
Well, good luck the rest of the way this year and down the road. Want to thank Cam and Jess for joining us today. Next up on Trackside Live, 11:30, the draw for the 80th Little Brown Jug from the Log Cabin. We hope you'll join us for that. So for Jess and Cam, for Matt Clark, I'm Frank Froz saying thank you for joining us for Trackside Live this morning. We'll see you about 11:30. Goodbye, everybody.
This has been Trackside Live. Trackside Live is presented by Wire to Wire Wealth. Trackside Live is a presentation of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association.